Well, hello there. Yes, you've probably guessed it. This is not Kevin speaking. This is his wife, Lynn. I'm afraid his voice is not up to par today, so here I am. Welcome back to the Are You a Caleb Leader podcast. In these podcasts, we are exploring the leadership qualities of Caleb, one of the most courageous and faithful leaders in Scripture. Today's podcast focuses on a powerful leadership principle: vision over fear. Our key verse is Numbers 13:30. Then Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, "We should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it." In the same moment where others saw giants, Caleb saw opportunity. That difference reveals something important about leadership. Great leaders are not defined by what they see, but by how they see it. Today, we will explore how vision overcomes fear and why Caleb's perspective made him a different kind of leader. When Moses sent 12 leaders to explore the land of Canaan, all 12 men saw the same things. They saw fertile land, they saw strong cities, they saw powerful inhabitants, and they saw giants. The facts were identical for every spy, yet the conclusions were completely different. 10 spies came back with a fearful report. They focused on the strength of the cities and the size of the giants. They said, "We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes." Fear shaped their perspective. But Caleb saw the exact same land and came to a completely different conclusion. Instead of focusing on the giants, Caleb focused on the opportunity. Instead of magnifying the obstacle, he magnified the promise. The difference between Caleb and the others was not intelligence, it was vision. Fear caused 10 leaders to shrink the future. Faith allowed Caleb to see the future that others could not yet imagine. This is one of the most important lessons in leadership. Perspective determines possibility. When fear dominates our perspective, even small challenges look overwhelming. But when vision shapes our perspective, even great obstacles can become stepping stones. Leadership is not simply about identifying problems. Anyone can point what is wrong. Leadership is about helping people see what could be possible. The 10 spies framed the situation like this: "There are giants in the land, so we cannot go." But Caleb reframed the situation. "Yes, there are giants, but the land is ours to take." This is what visionary leaders do. They help people see beyond the present obstacle to the future promise. Vision does not deny difficulty. Caleb never said the giants were imaginary. He simply refused to let the giants control the narrative. Vision says, yes, this challenge is real, but is not greater than what God has promised. Throughout history, every great leader has had to frame challenges this way. If leaders only describe problems, people lose hope. But when leaders present vision, people discover courage. Vision gives people something bigger than their fear. And that is exactly what Caleb did. He shifted the focus from the size of the giants to the certainty of God's promise. Fear has a powerful effect on our thinking. Fear narrows our vision. It causes us to focus only on immediate threats. When the spies allowed fear to dominate their thinking, their entire perspective changed. They began comparing themselves to the giants. They said they felt like grasshoppers. Fear didn't just affect what they saw, it affected how they saw themselves. But Caleb had a different spirit. Instead of measuring the giants against Israel's strength, Caleb measured the situation against God's power. Faith expands perspective. Faith reminds us that obstacles are temporary, but God's promises are eternal. Fear says, this is too big for us. Faith says, this is not too big for God. That difference changes everything. Here is today's leadership lesson. Caleb leaders focus on God's promise, not the obstacles. Every leader will face giants. Challenges will appear. Opposition will arise. But Caleb leaders refuse to let obstacles define the future. They keep their eyes fixed on the promise of God. They remind others that the size of the challenge does not determine the outcome. God's faithfulness does. Vision keeps leaders moving forward when fear tells them to stop. As we close today's episode, take a moment to reflect on this question. What giants are intimidating your leadership vision? Maybe it's a challenge in your ministry. Maybe it's a difficult situation in your workplace. Maybe it's a dream that feels too big or just too risky. The question is not whether giants exist. The question is whether you will let those giants control your vision. Caleb teaches us that leaders with a different spirit choose vision over fear. They see possibility where others see impossibility. They see opportunity where others see danger. And because of that, they lead people towards the promise. In our next episode, we will explore another powerful dimension of Caleb's leadership, faithfulness over the long haul. Because Caleb didn't just have vision for a moment, he had endurance for a lifetime. Until next time, keep asking yourself, are you becoming a Caleb leader?